Alright, so now that we've got so much content and so much history actually wrapped up in this thing, we started to dive into it a little bit, and we actually figured out that we have a treasure trove sitting underneath us. We think that we've made the first translation and discovery in Budugala, Sri Lanka, and I'm going to butcher a whole bunch of names throughout this video, and I really do apologize. It's just ignorance, I guess. So Budugala is a super interesting place in Sri Lanka's history, and it goes back to 1st century BC, where they were using Sinhala text. And Sinhala text, again, sorry if I'm saying it incorrectly, was a developing script over time, and we can actually use the time and what it looks like to determine when that Sinhala text was used. So today we will learn from it, and we will break down its connection to Katembuolawa Rajama Viharaya. So this inscription was analyzed based on its script style, which belongs to the Brahmi-derived early Sinhala script. Early Sinhala evolved from Brahmi during this time. The unique features such as rounded shapes and simplified characters help us to approximate the age of when this was written, as opposed to 3rd century, we're looking at 1st century. The direct translation into English would be something along the lines of, "This land, bestowed by King Rajahana, is to be used for the merit of offerings to the Lord Buddha. May all blessings who contribute to this endeavor be blessed and attain peace. These grants and offerings are for the prosperity of the temple and for their benefit of all sentient beings." The content of the inscription speaks about the merit-making and offerings, typical themes in Buddhist records of the period. Such inscriptions were often used to document donations to temples or acts of devotions of rulers, monks, or lay people even. And one of the things that we were looking at possibly was that this king wasn't even really a king. He was just, this was a more of a common person who's given the name of king in this dedication. It says the mention of King Rajahana in the inscription is intriguing. No major chronicles such as the Mahavasma reference a king by this name. This could mean only a few things. Rajahana might have been a regional leader rather than a king of the whole island. The name could be a title or honorific used for some people in significant areas, or it could signify a lost or lesser known figure in Sri Lankan history, which that in itself is like, okay, wait, maybe we're onto something. Hold on. And this is just one 4-line panel of Sinhala script that we're talking about. Very, very small. This area is also known for helping King Walagamba retake parts of Sri Lanka when they were under Tamil invasion. And the only reason that we know this is because somebody was actually able to find some script that said that they were working on building a military to help this king. In all, besides the discovery, there's also a 5-foot, larger than 5-foot imprint in the ground of the Buddha's foot, signifying the importance of these places. And a lot of the places have these, from what I understand, as kind of a nod to Buddhism and Buddha himself. I said we were getting into research. I said we were getting into actually writing reports and studies, and I'm serious about it. And now we're starting to get to the actual details. Now we're starting to file the files in the filing cabinet. We had the papers all over the room at first. Now we're organizing, we're planning, and we're figuring out exactly what we've discovered here. It's gonna get bigger from here. I have over a dozen discoveries just waiting to be unleashed. So this is a really, really cool one. Thank you, King Rajahana, no matter who you were, for this. And it's always an interesting perspective to see these things and how they unfold. And as we know of, this is the first actual translation of this text. It's this Sinhala text inside of Budugala. But yeah, so. Thank you guys for revisiting history. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you for learning with me. Every time you come back, I promise you'll learn something. Maybe you can teach me something. Maybe you see something in the text that I don't. Maybe you can actually translate it. Maybe you read Sinhala. Let me know in the comments below. If you like that video and want stuff like it, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out, man. Every view it adds to the total count. It adds to our success. It adds to our ability to kind of manipulate and move through the environment more soundly. I really do appreciate you guys.